So I wanted to take a few minutes to review with you your sleep profile and mindfulness assignment part 1. So for this assignment, for part 1, the directions are for you to complete the occupational profile of sleep, which can be uploaded here. And then I want you to analyze and examine your results from this occupational profile of sleep. From that, I want you to develop a sleep routine or plan based on those results. Then I also want you to practice using mindfulness daily for 4 days, either using the body scan or meditation. And there are videos linked below. You'll find those here, mindfulness videos. And what I would like for you to do is to journal or note your responses of using the mindfulness each day, and then identify what helps or hinders following through with this mindfulness in your mindfulness notes on practice template, which can be uploaded here. This assignment is to be submitted by Sunday of week 6. So there are no late submissions that can be accepted because this assignment is a foundational assignment for the one in week 7. So then for the format of your paper, so I want you to download and use this Sleep Profile and Mindfulness APA formatted template. That will help you to know how to format the document that you turn in. So the different components that you're going to be looking at, you're going to complete an introduction. So that's going to be the opening content in your paper. And it will, some tips that you should use for this section. Don't use the actual word introduction to title your paper. Begin writing your opening section under your paper title to introduce your paper. This opening section or introduction should include the main themes of your paper with integrated literature support. Your opening section should also include what you will specifically address in the paper. Then the next section is going to be the importance of sleep on mind and body overview. So you're going to begin this portion of the body of your paper with an overview of the importance of sleep on the mind-body connection. Your description can begin with a broad consideration related to sleep as an area of occupation. For this section, you want to write in the third person, so no I or me, and you should include literature support or course content for that section. Then the next section is the sleep profile. So you're going to start that section by describing the sleep profile and how it's used in occupational therapy. For this section, please be sure you remember to include literature support. And then the next part of this section is you're going to discuss and reflect on what you learned by completing the sleep profile, such as any obstacles you faced, what you learned about yourself, some sleep routine, habits, good, bad, and ugly, and any surprises that you learned about yourself. This section can be written in first person in the reflection portion. Then the next section is the sleep routine and hygiene section. So with this section, you're going to describe any changes, if any, for better addressing sleep as an occupation. You're going to synthesize your results of your sleep profile and describe a plan or a routine or new habits that you're going to utilize for addressing sleep. Please note that this section should include an analysis of your sleep profile and a description of the routine or habit changes you plan to make to improve your sleep. So writing in first person is acceptable in this section. Then the next section is the mindfulness overview. You're going to give a general overview of mindfulness and the effects on the mind-body connection. You need to make sure to mention the benefits to mental health and well-being and provide literature support from any literature you find in your research as well as the course content. This section should be written in third person. Then the mindfulness and practice section, you're going to give a thorough description of your experience with using the mindfulness techniques for 4 days. You need to identify in that section whether you use sitting meditation, body scanning, or a combination of both. You also want to reflect on your notes and analyze your responses to mindfulness. And because this is about your experience, this section should be written in first person. Then your mindfulness effects on the mind-body connection is the next section. In this section, you're going to discuss the benefits of mindfulness on mental health and well-being. You're going to incorporate your opinion and your experience with mindfulness, either in support of or against the use of mindfulness techniques. You want to also provide support from literature and course content. So this section may include elements written in first person or third person. Then your conclusion. You're going to summarize how the elements of this final assignment have influenced your thinking about the mind-body connection and the effects on occupational performance. Then in 1 or 2 paragraphs, you're going to provide summative comments, including your thoughts about the value of the mind-body connection on occupational performance. This section may also include elements written in first and third person. Then you're going to have a couple of appendices at the end of your paper. So you're going to include your fully completed occupational sleep profile as Appendix 1 and your fully completed mindfulness notes as Appendix 2. These 2 documents should be included as PDFs within the paper and not uploaded separately into Canvas. Then, as always, you need to make sure that you're including references and in-text citations. For your references, there's a minimum of 5 peer-reviewed scholarly references that are required. So those also need to be current. So if you used your textbook and a presentation, those do not count as part of the 5 peer-reviewed scholarly references. So I want you to find at least 5 additional peer-reviewed scholarly references for this assignment. Then you are going to submit your paper to Thinking Storm on the same day that you turn it in to Canvas for submission. When you do this, you're going to need to keep the information that you get back from Thinking Storm to complete the Sleep Profile and Mindfulness Part 2 assignment that's going to be due on Sunday of week 7. Then just some assignment requirements I wanted to point out as some tips for successful completion. Your paper should meet the following requirements. Number 1, you want to make sure you download and use this sleep profile and mindfulness formatted template. Your paper should be, it says 6 to 10 pages in length. If it's longer than that, don't freak out. It's actually going to be longer than that if you include the appendices, because the sleep profile is a few pages by itself. So don't stress the page length. If it's longer than it's supposed to be, that's fine. You want to make sure you double space it and use 12-point font. And you want to follow the current APA style used for in-text citations and references. And then you want to make sure that you submit your paper as a Word document, as well as when you submit your Thinking Storm feedback next week, you'll submit that as a PDF attachment. Now, if you have any questions or concerns as you're working on this, please reach out to me. I know this is a big assignment with a lot of elements, so I want you to feel comfortable asking questions. I also want to make sure that you review the rubric, because the rubric is going to tell you exactly what I'm going to be looking at for each section and how many points each section is worth. So please be sure to also review the rubric. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out and let us know. Thank you.